And
JJ,
we're
that's what we
live.
signed up to do, right?
I said
Oh,
we are live. Wow, Devin. Wow.
I'm
You
gonna
just
touch you.
always got to do something. We are live. Welcome, anyone, to the Gaming Chamber podcast, episode 37. I'm your host, Everett, aka 2Beast to Kill You, aka the Beast with the Least. Joining me, as always, Devin. Oh, what are you fucking up to? Devin.
I'm the greatest.
Oh, my God. And JJ.
I'm gonna touch you, Everett.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Let's see.
He's not gonna be able to save you.
He's, he won't be able to save me. Oh my God, this is
He won't
already
save you
off the rails,
from this
and we
touching.
are what? We are about a minute into the podcast and live stream, and here we go.
New personal record.
New personal record. Yes, exactly.
Achievement unlocked.
All right. So yeah, another week, another week of gaming news. Kind of light actually. But I mean, I guess that's not going to matter when we're already going off the rails. Might as well have a light week to just go off the rails and just be as weird as possible with the podcast. But obviously, because like I said, we're getting off the rails. I think we can make the conversations at least somewhat entertaining.
Don't tell
I
me what to do.
I just man, you guys. Before we can start all that, Devin, how's your past week been?
It's been good. Kids keep getting me sick. I feel like every week I'm like fighting like a mini cold. But
I
other
mean,
than
uh,
that,
everyone's getting sick right now, isn't it?
that's
Like,
kid life.
yeah. Well, that's too.
I know, and it's just the life with kids too. Just fucking feel like they're always just getting me sick. I'm just like, you bastards, stop getting me sick. I'm just tired of like every week. Feel like I have like a mini cold. But other than that, doing good. Been playing more Death Stranding. I think I'm on chapter 7 or 8. Can't remember. One of the two, 7 or 8. But I don't know. Gameplay loop has got me hooked, and I mean the story is fucking weird, and I feel like I don't understand half the shit that's going on. But the gameplay loop is entertaining, so that is keeping me around. So there's that.
Who would have thought in the year of our
I
Lord
know.
Odin, 2024, that Devin Herrickstad would actually be enjoying a Kojima production game?
I
Who
know.
would have
Who would have
thought?
thought?
Because of the
But you
amount
know
of
what?
times you have talked about how he's overrated and this and that,
I still think he's overrated.
You're like, I still think he's overrated. That's not changed, but
Yeah,
he cooked with this game.
like I just don't know what it is about the game, like that. It is enjoyable. Like I just wish the story wasn't
So off the rails.
as so off the rails as like it is, because like I don't know, like we went over it last week, like the basics of it. It's a post-apocalyptic US, and you're trying to reconnect and get everyone connected to this network, and like it helps civilization. But like, why is it that this baby in front of you can sense the um like the enemies in the game? Like, how does that have the ability to sense the enemies, but like you don't because you're not like dead enough or something? Something to that extent. And I'm just like, I am not like getting 100% of what's going on. And like after I beat the game, I think I'm gonna have to like just watch someone on YouTube explain to me everything that I've missed. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I am enjoying the game itself. I just wish it wasn't everything else wasn't so convoluted, but it's fun. Like the
Yeah.
gameplay itself is fun. Like it's interesting. Like I don't know. Like it's cool. If you're if you're running around and like you have too much weight, you gotta like press certain buttons to like shift your weight and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's yeah, like it's a good game.
And don't you
I
like
just
have to
wish
hold the buttons to like where it's like basically his hands, right? He's like holding it up himself, and if you let go of the buttons, it's like he's just letting his little backpack just hang on its own.
Yeah, like, and depending on how much like weight you're carrying, you don't have to like actually be holding, um, like you don't have to hold the backpack. But yeah, like your L trigger holds your left strap, the right trigger holds the other one, so that gives you better balance. But if you're not holding those and you don't have much, and if you're not carrying that much cargo, then you don't have to. Then you don't have to like hold those buttons. So like if you're just starting out in the mission or whatever, and you don't have that much cargo, then you're not having to like constantly hold those two things. But as you go along and you carry cargo, but once you get like a car and stuff, like then things become a little bit easier and stuff too. So
Oh,
spoiler alert for a 5-year-old game that you can get cars and motorcycles.
that game isn't 5 years old, is it?
Pretty sure it is 4 or 5 years old.
You might be right. I don't know. That
But
doesn't
yeah,
sound right.
but I did order. So on next week's podcast, just real quick, I got Sonic Shadow on sale for $30. I also picked up Disney Epic Mickey for $30. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that one, but I needed to get free shipping at Walmart, so I just bought another game. So I might be keeping that. I might get rid of it. I might like return it back. So we'll see.
So you are right. I just looked it up.
Yes.
I just looked it up. You are right. The game came out in 2019.
I'm always right, dude.
Anyways, okay. Looking forward to the
Yeah, you move on to
conversation about
JJ.
Sonic and all that stuff. JJ, what about you? How's your week gone with gaming and whatnot?
It's going fine. It's been grinding out the leagues on the RuneScape event right now. Trying to balance out a double XP and COD. It's a lot of stuff going on, man. But yeah, so I picked up Sonic. I installed on the Xbox, so maybe like on Monday, like well tomorrow or something, and later in the week I'll probably play it a bit. Get me hyped for the movie. I can't wait to buy Sonic 3.
Oh no, yeah. That yes, I cannot wait for as well.
JJ, they told me that you can't go see it in the movie theater.
Oh no.
You're not allowed. They said no one named JJ is allowed to go. It's weird. It was a weird rule.
Interesting.
It's a very interesting thing. Yes.
If I was rich enough, I would ban people from just seeing random. Like I would just ban certain people from doing certain things. I think
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
I think I told my buddy like if I was ever rich, I would have bought the company he was working for and just fire his ass just to do that.
Well, like I heard about this story because the reason I bring it up, I heard the story about Robert Downey Jr. He went to like this really like I don't know stuck up restaurant or whatever, and like they were like no, they don't do substitutions on things or whatever. And so he went there with like his pregnant wife, and she couldn't have like like an over easy egg or something on a salad. He's like, hey, just don't put that on there. And they're like, no substitutions. And then so he decided to like, he was like, fine, whatever. He just like they eat the meal, like she doesn't get the salad, but then he like ties them up in litigations so they can't open up new restaurants. And then by the time they finish up with litigations or whatever, like they don't have the money and they just go under. So instead of just like listening to fucking Iron Man, he just is so petty. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna tie you guys up in litigations with my lawyers and stuff because he has like the money just to fuck with them. I'm like, God, dude, I wish I could be that rich to be that petty. Like, all right, fine, bet, and then just fucking run their business into the ground because if they just didn't want to do substitutions. I'm like, oh
They
my
just
I think
God.
wanted to
Gwyneth
be like,
Paltrow did something like really petty too, right? She like she got in, like a lawsuit with somebody. She wanted like $1 or like $10 something.
Yeah.
This is like or something.
Like, God, I wish I could be that petty. I want to be. I just don't have the money to be that petty.
you're like, I just want to fuck with people so bad. Like, you won't actually let me do this thing or let me buy this thing or let me in. Okay, well, I'm just gonna buy this said establishment, and now you're fucked personally.
Like, and like, it's like on the Batman movie where like
Oh yeah, right.
Bruce Wayne's
Batman
like, oh,
Begins.
I bought the place. Yeah, like I bought the place. It's like, yeah, just to have that power. What is that like?
Yeah, like, you know what's funny? You hit on. I think I saw this as a meme or something. It's like growing up is realizing as a child I wanted to be Batman, and when I became an adult I wanted to be Bruce Wayne. I think it was something like to that effect. Like as a kid, you want to just be
Yeah.
Batman in the suit, but as an adult, you're like, no, I kind of would rather have the money.
Yeah, I just want to be the billionaire.
Yeah,
That sounds dope.
right. Just like fuck being Batman and fighting crime. I need money. I'm broke.
Yeah.
Like fuck. Yeah, like I got bills to pay. Like these criminals can do what they got to do, man. I understand them why they're robbing motherfuckers. But yeah. Oh, that's funny. Let me see. Oh, my weekend. I honestly, I didn't really play anything. I'm just,
Loser.
I
Loser.
honestly no.
Loser.
That's the
Loser.
thing. Like a bit of a personal note. Like I'm, I don't play games as much because I've been hanging out with someone. So
Loser.
I'll get there. I played some Pokemon. What was it Scarlet and Violet? I forgot which one I had. Violet. I played some of that
Okay,
just to
Pokemon.
because I just haven't had my Switch with
Cringe.
me. So
Cringe.
yeah. Why is that cringe?
It's cringe, dude. Playing Pokemon? Cringe.
Are they making you play Pokemon?
I mean, I played Pokemon because of my female friend. Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
Cringe.
That's it.
Okay, whatever.
He's like, hold on, my
Ah,
girlfriend's calling me. I'll be right back.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah, let me download let me download that whip emoji or whip app so I can just go the whoosh,
hold
like,
on.
whip
First of
my
all,
phone.
Devin, you're married. Okay, so I don't want to hear anything. And JJ, yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
have a
Trigger doesn't tell me
girlfriend.
what games to play.
Well, I didn't play it
Yeah,
because
so
she told
I
me
do
to
what I
play it.
want.
I played it because she was playing it, and she wasn't doing something. And I said, "Here, give it to me." I was like, "Let me show you how it's done." That's all.
Now she needs a man to play the game. It's kind of weird.
I know.
Get canceled for that, by the way.
I'm just saying, men do everything better than women. Even play Pokemon, especially
Everett's
play Pokemon.
mansplaining. Mansplaining.
I mansplained to her. Yeah. Secret exposed. I am a huge misogynist. Um, you know what? I can't think of any other buzzwords.
When it comes to Pokemon.
When it comes to Pokemon, I'm a huge misogynist who loves to mansplain, and the patriarchy rules all. And what other words did I say? I can't think of any more. I'm just spitting out bullshit now. Kind of like left-leaning liberals. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the week of gaming this past week.
I heard you call yourself huge. Is that true?
I don't know how to respond to that one. I really don't.
Yes.
Except for fuck you, Devin.
No.
How about that? No, that's how I'm going to respond to
Yeah,
that one.
you be huge.
You be huge. You be huge. All right, let's go ahead and start with this first one because honestly, this is something that we probably. I don't know if any of us have even played Witcher 3. So, Witcher 4. It's in full scale production. Again,
Took them long enough.
I don't know. Well, I mean, they kind of had another
Well, I mean,
game.
it's Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they kind of had
They never
another
tried to fix
game
it.
that they were.
They had to fix that shit. So yeah,
Oh Jesus,
took them
yeah.
long enough.
Oh, that one, yeah, with Cyberpunk and the. I mean, like I played a little bit of Cyberpunk 2077 when it first came out. I didn't experience anything, but I played it on the Series X, so that helped a lot. Apparently, that was and PC didn't have to deal with that shit, but it's apparently more on like the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 consoles were dealing with that stuff. At least from what I could see. So I don't know. I could be wrong, and a bunch of people who were on Series X, PS5 also dealt with it. But because too, it wasn't actually really available, right, for those consoles. Wasn't it like just backwards compatible? It wasn't until sometime later they made like versions that were for those consoles.
Yeah, I think it was a year. It was a year later till they upgraded to the Series X or some shit. Like the better
So maybe that's why
stuff
there
for it.
wasn't so many issues. Is that it could run a lower end game like that? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Because I know, yeah, I remember that. I thought it was during the anime was coming out or the DLC. No, I think it was the anime.
I think the
'Cause I think the
anime
anime came out
came
a
out a
year later.
little bit before the DLC, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was before.
I know it came out before, but wasn't it like not that long before the DLC came out, or maybe it built up hype enough that it seemed close enough. I don't know.
Oh, it had been hype, 100%, 1000%. Doesn't matter. It was
Yeah,
hype for the
the
anime.
anime really fucking like yeah,
I
like
already fucking said it multiple times in podcasts. The anime saved the game, 100%.
I mean,
Because the
yeah.
director of the fucking anime style is good already. So like fucking Gurren Lagann, fucking fuck Space Dandy, and
I mean, I wonder if Fallout
fuck.
76 ends up like with a good lifetime like resurgence and people start saying the Fallout show saved Fallout 76.
I don't know about that, buddy.
You're like, I don't know about that one. I
No,
mean,
Fallout 76 has like a pretty decent cult
Yeah,
following.
even without
Like,
it, right?
yeah.
yeah.
I
But
mean, I know
It'd
that
be on Game Pass. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
I know that like after the show came out, there was like a big, maybe not big, but there was enough of a resurgence in
Yeah, but that was a
interest.
spike. That was a spike to 76 and Fallout 4. Like people came back and just played both of them.
I mean, I know
I think
we
them also announcing that they were doing. Yeah, well, I think also them announcing that they were updating to 60 frames per second too.
that's true, right? Yeah, they did say that there was like a Fallout 4 upgrade and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a good show or movie, that helps with yeah. I mean, I didn't finish the anime, but from everything I had watched, the Cyberpunk anime was really good. So like, that obviously draws interest to like, oh, I want to play, whatever it is that's tied to this. But they had already started fixing the issues, so I mean, yeah, JJ, you're not wrong. The anime saved the game, but it also helped that like they had started fixing a bunch of issues. So if the game maybe was still pretty broken, it probably might have just died regardless, or just stayed dead or
Yeah,
whatever.
I felt like only a few people would have gone back. I'm not saying like two people, but like it's usually the kind of what was it? No Man's Sky, how like the game's getting better. Like not a ton of people are playing it, but the people that kind of like I'll give it a shot and they check it out after like what that one's like 8 or so years, right? Later, now the game's like really good. 8 years later, but from a smaller
But
company, but
that's that thing where like a game comes out and maybe people don't enjoy it as much. Obviously, it crashes and burns. You don't necessarily need to do maybe like a relaunch, but if you just keep at it and update the game and fix whatever might have been like broken or whatever, like eventually people might, there's gonna always be, even for the worst games. Like I think even for the worst games, the most boring games, even the most broken games, you're gonna get people who are like, I'm gonna play this game regardless. Like I'm gonna put a lot of hours into this game. And so when a game like that starts getting better and it gets fixed or things get added that make it more of a viable, like, oh, we can have a huge audience and whatever else, and like it has its dedicated following already that for some reason just decided to stay with it, they start telling other people, well, no, now this is in the game and this is in the game, or they fix this and they change this, which gets more people, and then it, you know spreads the word around, and especially after, yeah, however, yeah, what did you say, 8 years for No Man's Sky?
I think it
Like,
went like 2016. Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
yeah, it gets to a point where it's like it's had enough time and they've added enough, especially like a game like that, where it's one thing to play a game where maybe like you could say it's like quote unquote bare bones or whatever. It's like, oh, it's got this and it's got this, but it doesn't have much else. But especially for people who may have come in where it's like, oh, the game has been out for a few years. and now they've added a lot, and obviously they're going to keep adding a lot. That yeah, you get to a point where it's like, oh no, there's a lot to play now, and they've also changed this and fixed this to where it is when that happens. Yeah, you know, it makes sense for a game like that and all that stuff, but you know.
Yeah, makes sense. But
But
but it's good. The game's a lot better. Good for them, and glad they're working out. They can actually fucking work on.
but back
Witcher
to what
4.
we were yeah, Witcher 4. Have you guys played Witcher 3?
Yeah, I beat the main story. I never played the DLC, but I put I think like 60 hours in it.
I think I just
Holy
played a
shit.
little bit in the beginning when I checked out when I was working at GameStop. I checked out a little bit.
I think I've only put a
And
few
I think I
hours in the
played a little bit
game.
of I only played the second one a little bit too. I think I tried to go in there thinking it was like Skyrim, but it's not.
No,
Like
no.
obviously, but, so that's why I was like kind of confused. I'm like, my fucking smooth brain was like, I don't know, bro.
I think I played the beginning of Witcher 2 like 3 times, intending to play through the game and just never get through it. I don't I don't know why. I'm like, no. I don't know. I just think at this point I don't have enough time to put in for a game that's gonna like you just said, you put 60 hours in. And I know that like that doesn't necessarily mean the game is 60 hours long. You know, you could probably rush through even probably Witcher 3 in like 30 to 40 hours probably or something. Or maybe even less, 20 hours. If you're like I just want to do the story. Like I just want to do this and I don't really want to do any exploration. I just want to get through it. But still, I don't know. I think I'm just more now at the point where I want to play something that's 10 hours at most. I don't know. Like I'm not. It's gonna be very hard, especially too once like the next Elder Scrolls comes out, like or like Avowed is coming out, you know, in a few months or whatever. And I really want to play that, but I'm like, fuck, am I going to get through it?
You can
So
go. I think if it's a good game, you have to put time into it.
maybe, yeah. I mean, regardless, I think that yeah, maybe that's what it is too. I think the last, what was the last like game that I put that much time in? Yeah, I played through Starfield. I don't know how many hours I put in to Starfield. I could look it up. Do I
I think
have
I
the
put.
Xbox app on my?
I want to say I put 100 hours in Starfield.
I could look it up. I think real quick, but yeah, okay.
I
So
put.
Starfield, I put a lot of hours into. I did put a lot of hours into. So I mean, you're correct on like, yeah, if I'm into it or if it's a good enough game, I'm gonna put the hours.
Like my little motto thing is like if I want to play a game really bad, like if it doesn't get my attention off RuneScape, then I have no intention of playing it.
You're like, I just will not care enough.
Yeah.
So okay, for Witcher 4, like, you guys excited? You want to play the next game or?
From a guy that
I'll
plays,
get it.
if a guy that probably put like a total of both games an hour of gameplay, don't give a fuck.
Oof.
I'll get it. I don't know if it's gonna be a launch day title for me. I'll like obviously see. I'll need to see more about the game, but I didn't buy Witcher 3 till like they came out with like the complete edition, so I might even just wait to do that.
Yeah, that might be the way to do it. Yeah, you're. Because I mean, that's the thing too. Games like that, where it's gonna have DLC. There's gonna be expansions to it. And
And they're
then
not
yeah,
little expansions either, right? They're pretty fucking chunky.
yeah. So it
Yeah, I mean
might be
they're
better
the
to
I think it was like a Fire and Wine or something like
Yeah,
Blood and
that
that
Wine.
one.
expansion they did.
Blood and Wine.
The
Blood and
last one was
Wine.
like super crazy. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that one.
people were talking about how great that one was. So and even if they don't, even if they're just like, oh, we're not going to do DLC or whatever, it'll go down in price and like, and also it'll kind of just depend on like the landscape of a game at a time. Like if we're still playing like GTA or something when it comes out, like who knows like when it's gonna get released. So it's a lot of factors, but I will play it at some point. But like it's like kind of
They
like a no
want money.
duh, they're making another one.
Okay, well, Witcher 4. We'll obviously get in that game at some point.
Yeah, I think the only time I play is if was it Sam buys it, and then I just played off that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's some games that have done that where, well, okay, Devin's gonna buy it. I'll go ahead and play it. But oh my god, there's just too many games to play. Backlog is never gonna it's never gonna go away. It's just not.
No.
I just
Unless you quit your job and
yeah. Exactly.
unless you win the lottery and quit your job. Like
Well, there we go. I need to win the lottery. It's time to start buying lottery tickets.
do it.
Just do it. Do it now.
Do it.
All right. Let's go ahead and move to the next thing. Oh, this one. This is pretty funny. We'll get into it later, but PlayStation is celebrating its 30th anniversary and everything. So that's why everyone's saying this is coinciding with it. But Bloodborne is getting surprise server maintenance. Now, doesn't mean anything, obviously, but it also could probably mean everything. You know, that's obviously just hope. But I want to be more, hopeful and want to be like, oh, maybe? I don't know. I want to be more on that side that, like, this, the server maintenance, it is server maintenance, though. Doesn't really mean that the game's going to, like, start running better or anything, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what server maintenance means. Like, are you doing server maintenance so you can put a patch out for like better frames? Like,
Is it like something that just refresh the server so it doesn't? You know how you just something like leave computer on for like a fucking week, you turn that shit off for a bit or fucking reset it?
I mean, so
Reset the cookies?
if there's server maintenance, maybe could be because there's something in the game that if for some reason it is like, oh no, this is either getting some kind of update, or whatever, that like, no, this needs to be tweaked because this game is going to be running at 60 frames, we'll say. That this needs to be tweaked because of it's supposed to be running at 30 frames, now it's running at 60 frames. Like maybe, but I'm not a game developer. Like I'm just talking out of my ass. So I don't know. I mean, I know that there's been things where like different frame rates have affected FromSoft games. I don't know if you guys remember like Dark Souls 2 had to patch the game because weapon degradation, like because the Dark Souls 2 what was it called? Scholar of the First Sin edition or whatever. Uh it ran at 60 frames whereas the original release ran at 30 frames. It like doubled the amount or the time or whatever it was for weapons to break. So like, yeah, like frames can affect certain things, and at least for FromSoft games, at least from what I've seen before, who knows? But yeah, so again, this is just me being extremely hopeful. Probably nothing, most likely nothing, but it'd be nice.
I thought there was an update like a couple of months ago or beginning of the year, some shit. They did something like that. I thought.
Right? I think I want to remember. Yeah, I want to say that they even had one a
There's a
little bit
random
more
update.
recently too. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This, like I said, again, could be nothing, could be something, could be everything. Who knows? For all we know, I mean, for all we know, they're doing server maintenance because they're maybe going to close the servers down for maybe even a re-release. Again, I'm talking out of my ass and I'm being hopeful. I don't know.
You got a fat ass to talk on him.
Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and move
Sure.
to. Let's just move to the next thing.
True.
All right. How much do you guys love AI? Because
No.
I hope you guys really do love it. Elon Musk says he's starting an AI game studio to quote unquote, fuck, quote unquote. My God, I can't even get through it. Quote unquote, make games great again.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah,
Can you just go away?
Yikers.
I mean, I d- we here's the thing. People already like gamers in general. What is something that we have? What are the things we complain about or whatever? Not that doesn't have to do with AI. One of the things that gamers complain about is how like corporatized and soulless a lot of games have become because obviously, you know, you're getting games that are costing 200 million and up to make. So you're going to get a lot of, you know, of the big publishers who are going to be like, yeah, we really can't make any, risks. You got to do it this way. It has to be this. So you're going to get, you know, they're going to be involved in some way or another of the actual development because they need to have their say because they're like, hey, we're putting 200, 250, 300 million into the development and marketing of this game. We need to make sure that it's gonna sell. So we need this. And then obviously what happens? And publishers don't learn, but it makes the game not great and people don't want to play it and don't buy it. But that like making a game out of AI is like using AI to make games is not the way to fix that. The if anything, that is going to just straight up.
It's gonna make it way worse.
It's gonna get worse because like AI is already just like a bland like here's just a blank thing that's like oh here's this and it's just so like by the numbers of like making whatever it is. When it comes to pictures, it's not like you see people using AI to make pictures or whatever. It's not like these pictures look any better than like someone who did it on their own or whatever. And or making a book or whatever it is. AI doesn't have imagination. It's taking everything that's been made and putting it together and trying to make yes something of its own, but it's not really something that it just came up with from its own, for lack of a better term, from its own mind. And obviously, AI is not a very popular thing as it is, too. So I just don't understand how he thinks this is going to be. Any game that comes out of the studio, I don't understand how he thinks it's going to be received well.
It's gonna be received terribly. Like, I mean, he's got like I guess that whole bro MAGA thing going on right now, but it's like I don't know, like I I don't think he's got the best reputation right now. And yeah, you're coming out with something that's not popular for anyone like that actually enjoys video games. Like we don't like AI. The art sucks. Like you're gonna get people with like 6 fingers. Like stuff's not gonna make sense. Like it's just not gonna be like we like the human element of making games. I mean, like as much as earlier, like I crapped on Kojima and stuff. Like there's no way at this point in time AI is thinking of what the fuck is in this game. Like there's no way. like out of scratch, like, and like you have to like lead AI to where like you want it to go, and like I don't know, just
What if
it
they just
I
use
just
it as a story?
see,
Like, hey, let's just give them an idea, then they maybe do it. Like I know like the whole the AI just makes 16. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but then we'll have fucking people that essentially would edit it to make it better and program and design those new things to kind of
and
like,
that's the
okay, well the
thing.
AI came up with the
Is it
idea,
gonna? Yeah. Are they
or like
going to? Yeah.
there's a
Are they going to
type
use
of
the
type of
AI ideas or not?
like
Or
how
are they just
AI
gonna?
did.
Yeah. I mean, because
That's my guess. I'm
yeah.
not saying it's gonna be like, oh, I can see it working. Like, I don't give a fuck about stupid shit like that, dude. Like it's not it's not human element, and I think that's like the good stories come from those emotions and stuff, and then what AI is just gonna copy like shit like that from other past games.
I mean, most likely what this is going to be is that like it's not obviously AI creating it like wholesale or whatever. It's gonna be most likely, oh, they have a development team of, whatever it is, 100 people, but they're using AI to like generate stuff to do this, to do that. And then, when it comes to maybe story, even to like, oh, well, yeah, it's going to be like a space shooter about a guy who maybe this, and that. And then the AI comes up with the story and maybe the human element cleans it up. But still,
Yeah,
that's not a
I
popular
think
thing. That's not a popular thing because
yeah.
was it Ubisoft or EA? Remember they said they want to use AI when it comes to developing games.
Mhm.
And it's not like you saw a bunch of people on social media say like this is a great idea. There was a lot of like, oh, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna use AI for like the voice acting or whatever, then it's like you're taking away jobs from like the voice actors, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
What if the fucking voice actor that said they can use this for his AI shit? What if he's a sellout?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is weird things. People are like, dude, fuck it, dude. You can use my voice. Like, you want me to be in the next like 10 Call of Duties? Just use my voice. I don't give a fuck. You know? Or something. I don't fucking know.
That does come like come not come into question, but that does raise a good question. Because if you're gonna use AI for, let's say, yes, voice acting, is it going to be like, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to use AI in that it'll do the actual talking, the speaking role, or whatever it is, and whatnot. We just need to use the voice, the voice actor's voice a little bit. They're going to put a little bit of words, and then it'll do the rest from there. So, like, he'll come in, say a few sentences, and then, like, that's it. It's now able to generate his voice on what he sounds like. Which then, like, you're not gonna, you're gonna hear a very robotic voice. Like, it's not gonna
Mhm.
sound like you're going to be able to tell when it's, you know, or are they planning like, no, we need to do this, but like we want the character to sound younger than the actual voice actor. So now we'll use AI because they have done that, like movie studio, film studios. I know. I think they said. I want to say Disney did that with was it the third season? Was it? It was either the third season of The Mandalorian or might not have been the season of Mandalorian. It might have been the Boba Fett show, where they had like a whole
That's why it was
episode,
trash.
huh?
That's why it was trash.
But they had like a whole episode where I think it was the Boba Fett show because I think it was them like reintroducing the Grogu character into like the franchise, and it just basically was a Mandalorian episode. Um, and it was him getting the character back in his life or whatever. But they had Luke Skywalker in the episode like pretty much the whole time, and it was Mark Hamill doing the acting and everything, but you could tell obviously it was computer generated for his face to make him look younger, and apparently they used like AI or computer generation stuff to for his voice so he could sound like his younger self. So there's a lot of stuff they could use AI for, but the thing is, it is still AI, and if AI does is a bulk of the gaming development. Like, what's the point at
That's how my
some
buddy
point?
and I talk about it. It's literally just for tools. Like you can, like, if AIs can be great in situations where it can be a great asset, like for a tool thing, not just doing the whole assignment of making a fucking video game. No.
Yeah, like if you could be like, hey, there's a bug that happens to this, and if AI could help like find that easier, that'd be cool. Like if you could use AI to do that, because then you wouldn't have to like, I don't know, like someone looks through a bunch of code or whatever, like and can't see it, but if AI can quickly scan it and be like, oh, because like how like a famous little tiny coding bug was in that Aliens game. I forget which one it was called,
Oh
the Alien
yeah.
Isolation. But it was just like there was just like an extra
No,
letter in
wasn't it
there that
Colonial
made like
Marines?
the yeah, Alien. Like I would say it wasn't Alien Isolation. I couldn't remember what the full title. But yeah, Aliens Colonial Marines, where like there was just like an extra letter in there, and all you had to do was delete that out of the line of coding, and then the enemies weren't stupid, and then it made the game
Yeah.
like way better. So it's just like shit like that, where it's like I don't know, AI. You could be like, hey, can you like look over this code, check it out, and then and I'm like, oh yeah, like FYI, like hey, there's this. Like if AI can do that, cool. Like that can just be like small little fixes and stuff that can like make things better.
Yeah, like JJ saying, as a tool for like, helping with the development and helping with, you know, making sure things run smoothly enough in the game, and yeah, maybe to get rid of bugs and all that stuff. But if they start like, oh no, it's for assets and for this and that, like
Yeah.
actual core development stuff, like yeah, I think that's the point where it's like we're clearly starting to veer into like they want to remove as much of the human element as they can, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's going to be a
'Cause
cost cutting measure.
I say, yeah, hella cheap just to produce the same shit. And it's funny because I bet you, I hope to God Ubisoft's using AI right now to make sure like their games are so dog shit from Assassin's Creed. They feel the same shit, bro. It would make sense
It's like, oh, Ubisoft has been using
because
AI to make games for a long time. That's why their games are not great.
that's the same copy and paste every time.
I mean,
That's why they're really wanting to do it. So if their game pops off and they're like, "Hey guys, we were using AI the whole
here,
time,"
you
like,
know what?
"Whoa, no way!" Like, it's like, dude, it's ass. It's
The
fucking
thing is,
terrible.
you make that joke about like them using AI for years, but the thing is, like, I mean, their games have followed a formula like had followed a formula for so long
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, oh, it's the Ubisoft. Like, come on, how the hell are you going to make an open world driving game, basically Assassin's Creed, the way they were doing them recently, where there were the big open world RPGs, like Assassin's Creed, but with cars. In that, like, there was, things to do, but like they had towers. They, what they call the towers, where it's like, oh, it'll open up more of the map and show you stuff to do. They had that in, what is it, the Crew, right? That was the game. Um,
Mhm.
and
Every Ubisoft game, you gotta unlock the map by going climb a tower, get to a tower. Like
yeah,
every single one. It's just
like
like Jesus
what was
Christ.
that game where you played as like a god or something like that? Um, It was like a
Oh
group
yeah.
set in like a Greek setting, right, or some shit.
Phoenix something? It's Phoenix something?
Phoenix Rising or some shit like that.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, like I played that game. That game did the same thing. It had the same like, oh, here's a bunch of shit to do all over the map. Go up to a tower, and it unlocks the map and shows you a bunch of shit you could do. More shit
Yeah,
you
at
could do.
least that game though, like I
That
don't
was pretty
know,
good, right?
was a little bit better. Like that game, yeah, I can't remember the exact title, but they canceled the sequel to it, which sucked. Um, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about because I mean, basically it was like Legend of Zelda with a little bit of Ubisoft elements.
Yeah. So like, I mean, Ubisoft, if they're the ones who were saying that they want to use AI for game development, I think it was EA actually, but yeah, like, I mean, their games have been like the same for years. I mean,
That's it. Like if they like I said, if they come out and say it, we're like, we're not surprised.
I mean, that's why everyone was so excited about Mirage, Assassin's Creed Mirage, right? Um, because it was like a return to form for that style of Assassin's Creed, or for Assassin's Creed, because it's a little different than what we had or what we were getting and everything.
Yeah, it was more like OG Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, like the Ezio collection or whatever. So I enjoyed Mirage way more than I did like Valhalla and Odyssey and stuff, because it was a smaller scale Assassin's Creed. Yeah, you still had to do the tower climbing bullshit where you, I mean, where I don't know, whatever it's called, or you get the
But
leaps of
Assassin's
faith
Creed,
or whatever.
the original Assassin's Creed did that. Like that's where it
Yeah,
started.
exactly. They're like, oh my god, they're like,
We
they're
got
like,
something
fam,
here.
we're cooking, we're cooking.
We got something here. People are loving this.
People love climbing to the top of things to unlock portions of the map.
They
Let's
really
keep
love
doing
that shit.
it.
And then make a movie about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. I hope the next Assassin's Creed's good. You're gonna buy it for me, right, Everett? 'Cause it comes out on my birthday.
Oh, isn't the next one Shadows?
Yeah, you're gonna buy it for me, right?
Oh my god. I'm just not excited for Assassin's Creed games ever. The last one I played, the only reason I wanted to play it and played it, and then even played through it, was because of it being in a Viking setting. Like, give me a Viking setting, and I want to play that.
The 10 and 2 Vikings, or we're talking about something else?
Oh my god. Norse setting. We'll go with that. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and move
What?
to the next thing. Let's just go ahead and move to the next thing. Here we go. So, Nintendo, their Switch eShop and online services are ending in China, not in the world, just China.
No, you didn't say it right. You go, China. That's how like Trump says it. So you got to say it like that because he's president elect. So
Yeah,
you have to say it like that now.
It's ending in China on March 31st, 2026. All software will no longer be available to purchase or claim, I guess. And then in May 15th, 2026, players will no longer be available to download. They won't be able to download titles or redeem codes. And then November 27, 2024, they can. That was a thing that if they had a WeChat account, players. Yeah, starting November 27, 2024. So it was obviously last week. Players with a Chinese Switch and an active WeChat account were able to get up to 4 Switch games for free. So there's a reason to this. There's a tweet by Daniel Ahmad. I guess people were asking questions of why this is happening. Here's his tweet on explaining part of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but yeah. So
Because you can't read that
no,
much.
because it's a long ass fucking tweet. So China has a unique regulatory landscape when it comes to foreign companies operating within the country. Video games, for example, require government approval before they can officially launch in the country, and for a Chinese entity to act as the operator of the game. Basically, they have to be the publisher, or whatever you want to call it. In 2019, Nintendo partnered with Tencent and formed a joint venture to bring the Nintendo Switch to China. The Chinese version of the console launched in December 2019, selling over 1 million, whatever. However, the Chinese version is a unique console that is different from the global version. It's region locked when it comes to cartridge based games, and any game cartridge will work. That doesn't make sense. The Chinese version is region locked when it comes to online services, and only a Chinese eShop account is available to use. This means only officially approved games can be downloaded from the Chinese eShop, of which there are less than 100. What this means is that a lot of core console gamers prefer to import the console from Japan, Hong Kong, or the US, as the global version is fully region unlocked and can access any eShop store. I'm going to end up reading the whole thing. The shutdown announcement is specifically referring to the Chinese version of the console. Game cartridges and already downloaded games will continue to work, of course, but online services and new games will not. Okay, I know that's just basically it. There's no official reason. It's just what's happening. So it just looks like maybe, even though they sold 1 million units right out the gate, it looks like they probably weren't making enough money. And then obviously, in this tweet, he says that there's not a lot of games available to the Chinese version of the eShop and console because China does have to approve what is, releasing everything. So, like he says in this tweet, an official reason is not given for the closure. But it just looks like he's saying right here that maybe there's a contract that Nintendo doesn't want to re-up on. Which, like I said, to me,
Probably not worth the money.
that's what I'm saying. I think they're just not making enough money. So why keep doing this? Especially when, if in this said tweet, when someone really wants the console and they want the full console, they're just going to import it. That's all they're going to do. So, there's China for you. I mean, they have like their own console or something, don't they?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Like they have their own thing, so it's not like, I don't know. It's don't they, isn't China like one of the biggest markets when it comes to like PC gaming?
Yeah, that's why. What was that game that came out for PlayStation 5 and PC? Wulong?
Wukong.
Wukong, not Wulong. Wukong. That one went like crazy, like because, yeah,
Oh yeah, it's a Chinese.
like it went crazy over there, and like people were like initially, some people were like freaking out because like the numbers or whatever. Like oh my god, the player count went down. I'm like, that's just bedtime in China. Like it'll come back up, and like sure shit, like the next day, like yeah, like all the numbers went back to normal. And it's like, okay, that's exactly how it was gonna happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, China. I mean, like China is just a huge market for anything. I mean, like if you think about it, where it's like movies, like they always say like overseas numbers, like it's mainly China. Like if a movie's gonna do well, like whether it's like any Marvel movie or like Fast and Furious, like those big movies, like they need China to like. That's where they need to do their. That's where they do their numbers.
I mean, there's 2 billion people in China. 3 billion, I think now. Actually, it's a pretty big market.
There's a lot of Asians in that area because India's right next to them. There's a billion of them there too, so it's like there's a lot of Asians over there.
There's a lot of motherfuckers there that you want to try and make it in that market a little bit. So
Yeah, and if there's that many people there and you can't make money, it's like Jesus.
the thing is, they probably are ending the contract with that too, because maybe there's like some specific thing where it's this version of the console and they got to do a new contract because they are going to be releasing their next console within the next at least 2 years. So I don't know. Or again, just makes more financial sense to just be like, nah, we don't care. People they'll import it. We'll still make the money. Let me see. I'm trying to think. We got like a few more things to talk about. Let's I don't know. We have two sets of news. You guys want to talk about the PlayStation stuff first or the Xbox stuff?
Let's do PlayStation, then close on Xbox.
Okay. Let's see. We'll go with the smaller story. So, PlayStation has just launched a website that's celebrating its 30th anniversary. And if you go on the website, it shows like how much the PlayStation has sold in general. I'm looking at it like 102 million units of PlayStation, not PlayStation 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whatever, like the entire console. Um, oh, wait, no, this is PlayStation 102 million. Because, yeah, I think it officially announces how many units the PS2 sold, which is 160 million. Isn't the PS2 actually like the best-selling console of all time?
Pretty sure. I don't think the Switch or PlayStation 4 outsold it, so pretty sure it's still
Or maybe the Wii might be the highest selling.
maybe.
Maybe. It could be close, but I think yeah. I think with the PlayStation updated their stitch right too.
So yeah, the website is just
Still stay at top.
it's detailing the history of PlayStation. You know, it's showing all the different consoles, reminding people that like, hey, we had these awesome handheld consoles that we just didn't support. You know, things like that. But yeah, this is kind of a cool thing. I don't know, like it's it's just kind of wild to think now that PlayStation's been around for 30 years. You know, born from a failed partnership with Nintendo to then now be the not best selling, but the number one console maker in the market right now currently. Like I don't know.
They're higher than Nintendo Switches right now?
Well, let me see.
I
The
mean,
Nintendo
regardless,
Switch.
they're high up there.
I'm talking about kind of overall. I think when you look at like as a whole,
That makes
like
sense.
PlayStation,
Okay.
Nintendo, and Xbox, because I'm pretty sure the Switch. I mm, I don't know how many units it sold. I want to say it's probably it has to be over 100 million. I
For
want
which
to
one?
say
The Switch?
the Switch. I want to say it's even probably pretty close to 160, like maybe like
It says
140,
as of November 2024, it sold nearly 144 million units across the
144
world.
million units. So the Switch, yes, the Switch has sold a shit ton. Oh, so I'm looking as of September 30th, 2024. Nintendo has shipped over 146 million units.
Yeah, as of November 24, it has sold nearly 144 units across the world, including 50 million units.
That means it's still
And 50
selling.
units are in America.
Like it's still selling like crazy somehow. I don't understand. Um, and if I
Well,
look
kids
at
get older.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you have to get.
So
Kids break their
obviously,
Switches.
because you know
Mhm.
when what Switch came out in
17.
2017, yeah. So I mean, you know, it's a while now, 7 years to be able to sell as many. But like what PS5 came out 2 years later. The consoles came out in 2019, right? PS5 and Series XS.
Yeah, right before the vid.
Yeah. So I'm looking. Sony has sold 65.5 million units for the PS5 globally. So yeah, obviously not nearly as much as the Switch, but like I said, yeah, I'm talking about more as overall the PlayStation brand and all that stuff. When you think of, you know, what what the number one brand is in the minds of whether it's, you know, hardcore or casual gamers, it's kind of become PlayStation. So, you know, yeah, 30 years they came in after it. I think the thing is too, it's just kind of funny to me too because they have survived as long as they've survived, and they've had their, you know, they've had stuff where it's like people were like, oh, wow, PlayStation is not in a good way right now. You know, you have your $599 American dollars. Oh, just get a second job, stuff like that. Or the fucking uh the hack that lasted, I don't even remember how long that lasted. But
I
the
think it was like
PlayStation,
3 weeks.
yeah, it was down for a while, you know. Um or even, PlayStation 5 currently with like people are like, where's the games? Even though games have come out, people are like they're not releasing games really. Or even currently too with like, oh, the jokes of like they're just remastering everything or remaking everything. Like, PlayStation has had its ups and downs and everything, but it's still here. It's, outlived other console makers like Sega, who now just makes games. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I think at the end of the day, I mean, like Sony themselves, I mean, the consoles they make are good, but the fucking other stuff they do is just like dumb. But the consoles themselves, like they consistently like nail it when it comes to like making like good consoles. Like they haven't had like yeah, they've like priced it terribly, but like they haven't done anything like I don't know, crazy stupid when it comes to like big console releases. Like because they fixed it as the PS3 life cycle went on. They fixed it. They made it better. They fixed the controller because they didn't have Rumble initially. It was just a 6-axis, but then they fixed it. They added a Rumble, but then they do stupid things like the Move or like the Vita. They don't support it, and it's just like okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. So 30 years of PlayStation. What is your guys's? JJ, will start with you. What is your favorite, like
Mhm.
maybe memory or
Yeah.
just favorite something from PlayStation
From
about slash
PlayStation,
about
30 years.
slash about PlayStation? What is your favorite, whatever you want to say?
Trying to think, like my memory, like best thing I had for PlayStation, like over the 30
It
years,
could
kind of
be, it could
celebrating.
be, it could be a memory, maybe a game, or maybe just just
Alright,
anything.
so I just fucking remember plugging in that PlayStation 1, man. Hitting that button, hitting the PlayStation, the logo, you know what I'm talking about from PS1 to that.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, it's like old fucking thing. And then a motherfucking God, Spyro versus Ripto's Rage, playing and shit like that. So I get a little bored. I'll play a little bit of Ape Escape, Ape Escape 1. Or I just put in my little, the demo discs and shit with like fucking 10 games in there. I was playing Medieval. And like I think Gran Turismo like fucking 1 or something. Gran Turismo 2. It's Gran Turismo 2. I think I had that one.
Hmm.
I didn't play it that much because again I'm used to playing like Mario Kart, not really like actual simulator racing games. So I was like, oh, okay, but I think it's fun. And then playing like obviously Silent Hill 2, actually being introduced to the horror genre for that kind of style made me love Silent Hill. Yeah,
Devin, what about you?
Kind of similar to JJ's. I mean, like I remember just playing PlayStation back in the day, just like being in the basement. And yeah, you get the PlayStation logo pop up. You play Spyro, like the Spyros, love those. Crash Bandicoot, love those.
if
And
it's like
then
shit, dude.
yeah, just like playing those, and then just like gaming with your siblings and stuff like that. Like I remember playing with my brother, and like a game that I never thought would get remastered because I was like, that's coming out soon. Um, just playing it on the PS1 was Jedi Power Battles. Like I was like, that's just like I don't know. Like I feel like I was like, it was just like one of those games that like I don't know. Does anybody even like this game? But like it was a fun like Phantom of the Menace like spinoff game. Or like it kind of followed the story of like the what was going on. I don't know if you guys played it, but like um I fucking love that like Jedi Power Battles game. It was fun. Like you
No,
would
that was a
play
good one.
as
Yeah.
like yeah, like I love playing like you just play run around, play as mates. It was fucking hard too. I mean, I don't know if it was because I was like a dumb kid, but I remember it being hard, and I was like, dude, fuck this. Like I don't think I ever actually beat the game. Um, and I was just like, I was frustrated. And then like I announced I saw they were doing a fucking remaster, and I was like, holy shit. Like I was like, I never asked for it because I know like on a podcast like a few months ago we were like, oh, what games do you want remastered? I was like, they'll never remaster Jedi Power Battle. I was like, you could like
And yet here we
like
are.
I know, and yet here we are, where it's just like we're not getting a Simpsons Hit and Run remaster. We're getting a Jedi
You're
Power
like,
Battles. I mean,
you're
like,
like, we're not getting one of those, right? Wink, wink. Like trying to put it out in the
yeah,
universe.
I know, but yeah, like, I mean, well, like they're kind of. I mean, I guess I could have like. I mean, you can kind of see this coming because they've been throwing out like they did a lot. They've done a lot of Star Wars like just random remasters.
Yeah.
Not random, but like I mean, there's just been like a lot of like you have the Pod Racer.
Yeah, the fucking the bounty hunter. That was kind of out of the blue. I didn't know.
Yeah, so they've had a lot. I mean, like hopefully it just plays well. I don't think it's gonna have online co-op. It's just gonna have couch co-op, which is kind of shitty. Cause like, who the fuck plays games couch co-op anymore? Like, who has friends that are come over? It's like we play
That's why
everything online
I
now.
always, whenever like I see people get pissed off about like, why is there no like on or couch co-op or split screen? I'm like, who does that anymore? Like, we
I
all
know.
play
So when games
online.
don't like you should have it as an option, but to have it as to only have couch co-op sucks.
Yeah.
Like I'm still gonna play it, but like I don't know. Hopefully they'll patch it and fix it. So, but yeah, so just things like that. And then I remember even just like getting just real quick, just like getting our PS2 because my brother and I we had a paper route like back in the day. And we would just say we saved all our money, and then we finally were able. We got a PS2. And we're like, holy shit, this is so
Hmm.
fucking awesome. And we got like dog shit games for it. I remember it was just like there's like some cheap games like Blockbuster or something that we picked up, and like I don't know, like, but just getting that PS2, we were just like, oh my god, it's so fucking sick. Like the disc tray just like beep, comes out. We're like, oh my god, this is so cool.
For
But
me,
yeah,
so my favorite, like, it's a memory or whatever. So back when the PlayStation 1 was out, I wanted one. I wanted one so badly, but coming from a family of 5 with 4 boys and 1 girl, it was a majority rules kind of thing. Unfortunately, my siblings wanted a Nintendo 64, so that's what my parents ended up getting. We got a Nintendo 64. Now we ended up getting a PlayStation 1 at some point, and that was cool. Next time around, PlayStation 2 was the next console that I was like, I want this so bad, and I was telling my parents, can we please get this? Because they had kind of said next time I would be able to make the choice. Now, my brothers wanted an Xbox. What console do you guys think they went with? My parents. They went with the Xbox. So again, I didn't get the console I wanted. This time though, I was able to. Yeah, I saved up the money, earned up the money enough, and got a used PlayStation 2. And I was super happy. I got, I think, Metal Gear Solid 2 and a wrestling, a SmackDown, I think, Know Your Role or something. Um, and yeah, just being able to, after being disappointed twice now at this point, to not get the PlayStation console, the one that I wanted, and being able to save up and enough money to get a used PlayStation 2 from GameStop and being able to get a couple games like was huge to me. Like I was so happy. Just also a similar thing. I did something similar with the PSP, like when I got a PlayStation portable, like being able to get one, and then I got like it's similar. I got Metal Gears. I think they had a Metal Gear Solid 3 port on it, and then a SmackDown versus Raw 2000 something. I don't remember. But yeah, at the time I was a way bigger PlayStation guy, and I was even like, who the fuck would want to play an Xbox console? Halo, Pfft, idiots. Now obviously the tables have turned, but yeah. I mean, I'm still not a huge Halo guy, but still. Yeah. Younger Everett was a PlayStation guy over Xbox.
Well, I mean, I think most people were. I mean, obviously because the PS1 had come out. So I mean, there was a generation, like it had
Yeah.
a generation ahead. Because it's hard to like be like, oh, like I don't know, the new thing coming over. So
Yeah, I guess that's true.
and
I mean,
PS1 had fucking bangers, man. I mean, you had a couple Crash Bandicoots, you had a couple Spyros.
Metal Gear Solid 1,
Resident
Yeah,
Evils,
Resident
Silent Hill 1.
Evil,
Yeah, like
uh,
crazy shit, bro.
Dino Crisis, like
Yeah, Dino
Final
Crisis as well.
Fantasy.
Oh, yeah, a
yeah,
lot of
Final.
Final Fantasy, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, so like there were some fucking bangers on that. So people like it was understandable. Like if you were
More of a
like
PlayStation person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tough because especially PS2 is backwards compatible, so it's like those games didn't go away. You had them still if you bought a new
Yeah.
console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I had
God, dude,
we had
and
a bunch of games that I still
PS2's
played here.
and PS2's fucking memory card fucking screen fucking goated, dude.
Dude,
Like
I just remember that shit, dude.
the
Yeah,
little
the
like
towers.
the little like they would just like the little characters were like floating around. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like their like little
Yeah,
pixel things. You know, like Crash's face would be like smiling or whatever. It's just like you had Crash
yeah.
Bash on PS2, man. Man, they had some fucking good games.
Mhm.
All I had to do was remaster Crash Bash for that fucking. I forget what that Crash game was called that they had. That they came out like Crash Team, was it Crash Team Rumble or whatever? Like all you guys had to do was fucking remaster Crash Bash, and you guys fucking fumbled the bag so hard in this. I'm like, you idiots.
Yep.
But yeah,
All right. So the other set of PlayStation news. Actually, we might not really talk too much about this. Shuhei Yoshida. He's one of the key guys. Obviously, he's been there for a long time. He's retiring in January. He's been with the company for 31 years.
that's it.
I know, right? That's it, just 31 years. So
Damn.
yeah, he's been there basically since the beginning. I mean, yeah. I mean, remember, he was a big figure. People call him Shoe.
Big shoes to fill, huh? You have to say about big feet, right? With the big shoes, right? Yeah, the
Right.
Big socks.
yeah.
I mean, remember he did that video with I don't remember the other guy's name, where it's like, oh, how to borrow games or something on PlayStation 4, and it's just like, here you go. They were obviously taking a shot at Xbox and everything, but that was something that was that was a big thing with him, or one of the bigger moments with him and all that stuff. But yeah, he's obviously one of the biggest minds that's been there for a while for PlayStation, so it's gonna be a little tough to replace him. But I'm sure they'll do well. I mean, they did well with the guy who they replaced as the head of PlayStation or whatever. I don't remember the guy's name. But yeah.
So what you're saying is we're applying?
Oh yeah, I'm going to definitely want to take over as what is he? He's like the VP or something like that.
Why not? Job's open. Let's go.
Oh no, okay. I'm looking. He's the head of their Indies initiative, so that's what
Oh
he is
yeah,
right now.
we could do that job. All three of us. We could do that
Dude,
job easy.
yeah, hello, dude. 3 people?
We'll be like, we'll take his salary, split it up in 3. I don't give a shit.
All right. Okay, so let's just go ahead and move to the Xbox stuff.
We scared.
Honestly, I think these conversations are going to be not that long. So we're going to go with the one that I think is clearly probably not going to be very big for us. Xbox, they're removing the Avatar editor app from their consoles and PC, and ending support for the revamped stuff and all that. They're basically it's avatars are over. The Xbox Avatar. I know, right? Oh no, whatever were we gonna do?
Man, those fucking rewards I got from Gears 3 aren't going to be useful anymore.
Dude, what if I want to play fucking Guitar Hero 5, dude, on the 360, bro? I want to use my avatar, you know? I'd be sick as shit. He's like, he's playing the fucking guitar. He's like, doo-doo-doo.
Next, you're gonna tell me Nintendo is somehow gonna get rid of Mii's from my Nintendo Wii, so I can't use those anymore.
I mean, shit, they might as well too. What is? What are the? What do they use it for? What are the Mii's used for nowadays?
Smash Bros.
Yeah,
I
Smash
guess.
Bros, Mario Kart, yeah, for your profile if you want to use me, Mario Kart.
You sound ignorant right now. I feel sorry for you.
Anyways, I mean, just I don't know. There was some game. Remember that one? What was it called? Doritos Crash Course. That was kind of cool. Remember during the 360 era, they had all those indies games. A lot of creators used like there was Avatar Warfare and stuff like that. Like there was some stuff, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just remember Kingdom
But-
kept playing the thing, though, that shit. I remember people play the fuck out of that game.
I guess that was probably
Yeah.
the Avatar's biggest thing was the Kingdom for Kathleen's game. But I mean, it's not like they don't it's not like they had their own like Wii Sports equivalent where it was completely necessary. And this, I mean, there was like what Connect Sports that did use them, right? But I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Connect Adventures used them. But I mean, they don't, the Connect's not a thing anymore. So, I mean, it makes sense. They buried, I mean, the Avatar shit is like, it's like not easily accessible. You have to kind of dig around in your fucking Xbox to even get to that stuff. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they're getting rid of it. I mean, no one uses it anymore.
Dude, I
Like,
like the
it's
whole
just,
thing with getting when you play games, you get those rewards like like you said, Gears, Modern for 2, you got like a special fucking like night vision goggle or some shit like that. It's crazy.
yeah. I think it was cool. And then, like, there was that 1 versus 100 game that they had
Oh,
too.
dude, oh, here's the one. Dude, that's something they need to fucking come back, bro. That shit was fucking lit as fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully, if they're not worrying about it, it's just because they still have to have a team that's dedicated to it even a little bit. Like it's just frees up stuff to maybe work on other stuff that has to do with their UI and all. It's not like I think their UI is bad or anything, but like hopefully the whatever the team isn't getting fired. I couldn't see anything about that, but yeah. But yeah, this is. I mean, like it's yeah. I don't. I think we're all in agreement. We're not gonna miss the avatars once they're like completely gone.
No.
No.
I mean, I haven't fucked with the avatars in so long. Like,
I ever since the 360, I haven't like.
I think if we go to our profile, like, do you still see him? Like, I'm gonna go to my Xbox profile now. Yeah, I get my guy's wearing like a purple helmet,
He's trying to look
jersey,
like a
dribbles a
Vikings.
basketball. Yeah, and he's got a baseball glove on. So, I mean, cool. I guess.
I mean, yeah, it was a lot better when like remember the 360 had like your avatar just at like up front and center and everything. You could
Yeah.
actually see it. So it meant it made more sense to like really work on this and have
It was
resources
sick as shit.
dedicated to it. It was
Yeah,
pretty
with
cool.
Netflix, shit like that, bro. Like Netflix, you see your character that's in the front, bro.
That was pretty cool though.
Yeah, just like looking at like other characters, they're like, oh, dude, look, Everett's over there, sitting over there, throw popcorn at fucking Everett, dude.
Yeah, and you get to watch together and stuff.
Yeah, like. And there's like with the Guitar Hero 5, I was like playing my avatar and I had like a Bioshock fucking Big Daddy helmet.
Hmm.
Like, shit was funny as fuck.
So okay, yeah. Rest in peace, avatars. I don't remember when they brought them out. Looks like they'll be gone by next year. They might even be willing to just completely erase them out of existence. All right, let's go ahead and move to this last thing. So I think we talked about this last week, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft is delaying the ability to download or not download, but to buy and play games through their Xbox app. Um, This is following a court-ordered administrative stay. I mean, long story short, they've basically been in a legal battle with Google and Apple too, whatever, over they those two specific companies because they have the phones and everything, well, just mobile devices in general, and obviously Android and Apple control what it is or would like to control what is being sold and whatnot on their own storefronts. They don't allow other storefronts. They don't allow like, yeah, oh, I can download this app and now buy things through it. I mean, like I don't know, Devin. You have an iPhone. Like, are you are you able to buy like comic books? Or I don't know if you've even checked, like just through like the Kindle app or anything. Have you ever checked that, or would you even know?
I think you can because the wife does. So I think you can because she reads
Well,
on the Kindle.
so
I think you
she
can.
probably uses the website because I remember when I had an iPhone for just a little while, I couldn't buy because I used Kindle for my comic. Well, Comixology was the app, but now they just combined them. But it was still Amazon storefront basically, and they didn't let you. You had to go on the website and then buy it, and then like you could download it once you bought it. I'm sorry, I have like a YouTube video, and they actually put the word "bit" on screen. Once you bought it, you could then download it and read it and all that stuff. Um, well, the same thing. It's the same thing for Android right now. Like if I go on my Kindle app right now and like I want to buy a comic book or whatever, I can't. I just can't. Uh, they do not allow it. You have to go on the website, and once you buy it through the website, you can't even go on like the Amazon app and then buy the comic book. It won't let you. You have to do it on the actual like whatever web app you can use on your phone. But that has filtered through into other things. Like remember, there's that whole thing with Epic versus Apple because they wanted to have their Epic Game Store as an app on the phone or on mobile devices and everything. So that's how you would download Fortnite and I guess pay for stuff. But it's because that was their way of trying to. I mean, they were trying to make the money 100% of the money, through microtransactions and everything instead of paying for it uh, through the Google and Apple stores. And that's obviously went through with Xbox. And now, obviously, if you want to buy a game through their Xbox app, it is a thing where you're not paying Apple or Google or Apple anything. It's going straight to Microsoft. That doesn't sit well with those companies, but you know that's a whole other discussion and all that stuff. And yeah, it just looks like now this is just being delayed. There was an update that said that Google said, "Hey, we never really actually did this. Microsoft has always been able to sell their stuff, but I don't. I think that that's just them trying to put the blame on Microsoft because that's definitely not been true. Like, I mean, it's not just true. Like I said, I literally just said how you can't even buy comic books through or books through the Kindle app. So like they obviously do try to be like, no, you can't use your own storefront if we can't make money off of it or something. I think they're just wording it in a way that's trying to take the blame off of them. So
Doing a little corporate speak.
yeah, because I mean they're saying like Microsoft's always been able to, but obviously yes, they've always been able to, but it's only if they give, I don't know what the percentage would be, but if they give the percentage to Google for selling a game through the Xbox app, which I mean if they're selling it through their own storefront, why would you want to give Google anything or Apple anything? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I don't know. Just make it easier for consumers. Like No, it's all corporate greed. Just make it easier for consumers to fucking buy shit, you know?
Yeah, it's just I don't know why that makes people not like it and not want to get it,
I
not
mean,
deal with it.
you're not wrong. At the end of the day, it comes down to corporate greed because, as Google said, like, oh, Microsoft's always been able to do that. But it does come to like Microsoft not wanting to give a percentage. I want to say it's like 30% or something to Google. And instead of just, and also to Google for their end, it's corporate greed on their end or whatever because, yeah, they want a piece of that pie. Like, oh, no, if you're going to use the Xbox app through our our phones or whatever through Android, like, yeah, we want money. Yeah, I mean, Apple does the same thing too. It's just everyone wants to have their share, their piece of the pie, and some companies just don't want to give a piece of the pie. That's why Epic is, was in a big legal battle with Apple, and that's why Microsoft's basically been in a legal battle with both as well, with Apple and Android or Google. Yeah, you guys are right. Like, or Devin at least, or whatever. It's corporate greed. But yeah, it does affect the end user, the consumer, because
Hmm.
now we can't do certain things or whatever.
Like making it like yeah, like if yeah, like I'm not sure like you're saying like comic books, but maybe like books are such as like real book. I don't know, but like
No, if it's through the Kindle app, I cannot buy. Like, let me see if I just want to buy.
gotcha.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. I'm on the Kindle app right now. It doesn't even give me the option to go through the storefront. Like, I have home, library, and more. So I can't even go like to look for a new book. Like, if I wanted to, let me see if I could. So okay, no, it does, but it's so when I'm on the home, whatever, and if I go to buy now, hmm, so maybe the books it's letting me. It seems to be letting me buy a book, but I did try to buy a comic book recently, or I did. I bought The Crow because it was like on sale or whatever, and I had to go through their website, like on my like the internet app. Um, Let me just look for a comic book real quick. I'll just go through, yeah, Absolute Batman. Wait a minute. Maybe something's changed recently. It's giving me the option to buy. So maybe recently Amazon has come to an agreement with Google, but that has to have been within the last month because I just bought, like I said, I just recently bought a comic book. Well, cool. I didn't know that I could actually start buying them through the app.
There you go.
Good job, good job. It's cool, man. Cool.
I mean, Amazon makes so much money. It's the biggest company in the world, isn't it? Like, just give a little bit. Like, these comic books sell for $5. Books sell for like, I think, $10 or whatever. Just whatever. Give Google their $1-2 for whatever. Like, you're not. I think Amazon will be fine. They make so much money off other shit. So, because I mean, look, in the end, making things easier on the consumer to just like, oh, you have the app, you can buy it through the app, play it through the app, and not have to worry. It's You want to make things easier on the consumer. You want to make things easier on whatever the end user is, whether they're a gamer or just a book reader or whatever. You don't want to make it where it's like, oh, I can't do this. I have to go through this extra step to do this, or I just straight up can't. It's a bad experience. So I don't know. Hopefully this gets sorted out sooner rather than later, and you know we could start. I mean, obviously we've talked about it. All the three of us, we're not going to really use that feature too much. Um, I mean, I have thought about getting. I have a with my phone company or whatever what I use. I do have like a tablet line. I have thought about upgrading because I don't have the tablet. just doing the upgrade and pay the $7 a month for it because I have it's like $20 a month. I get unlimited internet on a tablet line. Maybe I'd actually be more willing to like stream games when I'm like out and about and just connect a controller and that's it. But
That's what I have on my tablet. I use that shit for fucking RuneScape. I got cellular data on that shit.
yeah, I have the line. I just don't have a tablet.
It's not bad. Like I just want to do it, especially when I was traveling to Texas a lot. Um, it's easy. Just play at the airport when I just didn't want to, just bring a fucking like a laptop or anything.
Yeah,
And back then, I was like, I didn't need a laptop until like game got a little bit more demanding on your skill and stuff. So having a laptop's a lot better. But for the time being, like for RuneScape, just fishing, doing bullshit, easy for a tablet. Is what I said.
yeah.
And that's the only reason why I have a tablet, just because of RuneScape.
I think like if I'm able to, because like I said, I kind of am not home as much recently. If I had the tablet, I probably would be like wanting. I'd be playing my games a lot more, actually. Probably, because I mean I could use the streaming still, like through what's on my console. I might have to actually just straight up go ahead and get that tomorrow. Get that done tomorrow. Just get the tablet, just so I could do that.
You
I
can
don't
play
know.
some Warzone mobile, dude.
Or Warzone. Yeah. All right. I think that's gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead and finish it off there then. Yeah, that's a good. It's a good one. Ooh. So yeah, that's been Gaming Chamber podcast. What is it? 37. Wow, 37 fucking episodes. We are.
Yeah,
I.
we're halfway to your age, right?
Oh my god. Anyways, I've been your host Everett. Devin,
Don't forget to grip it and rip it this week, boys.
JJ.
Especially you, Everett.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna touch you, Everett.
Wow, just wow. And with that, until next time. Fuck. We'll catch you later.